I'm back momentarily, but don't get your hopes up because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here because I went to go see an awesome movie, and it's one of those cases where I must tell everybody about this particular film because if I don't tell you about it, it might not do so well at the box office like all of Edgar Wright's other movies, and then it'll just become like a cult status thing and everybody will love it, but only the cult really knows about it. And this is the sort of thing where I believe that mainstream success is just within the grasp of the main character of Scott Pilgrim, and let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's give him that, because this movie really does deserve it. I loved it. This is pretty much a geek cornucopia of awesome epicness. This says on the poster, an epic of epicness. Well, that's pretty damn accurate. The whole entire premise is that you have this guy who's Scott Pilgrim, who is basically you. He is pretty much every geeky kind of man-child that you've ever known. And he falls for this girl by the name of Ramona Flowers, which is pretty much like every chick that all of us has fallen for at one point. Pink hair, the goggles on the head and everything. You know, it's sort of a universal archetype in my opinion. I dated one at one point. So the story basically continues on with him trying to win this girl's heart. But the problem is, in order to do that, he has to overcome and defeat her 7 evil ex-boyfriends. Stupid premise, I know, but it is incredibly well done. Very, very funny movie. Well, it's Edgar Wright. What can you expect? The timing is perfect. The gags are absolutely delightful. Laser point here. I'm just going to laser point at everybody that I can possibly talk to at this particular section. And this is really all you can say about Scott Pilgrim. It's pretty much a romantic comedy mixed with a video game. It's a romantic comedy for guys, basically. I think it's aimed at guys, even though Brett was telling me that a lot of girls read the series as well. Yeah, sure, they may, but I honestly think that this is told from a guy's perspective, and it was written for guys specifically. Girls may like it too, you know, there's no reason for them not to, because it's funny and it's entertaining and it's energetic. But I think that where this is going to really resonate is with a lot of nerdy man children. Which is a sad thing to say, but it really encapsulates that sort of an attitude. The fights between Scott Pilgrim, basically the lovable loser, and each of the evil ex-boyfriends all are based off of a particular sort of video game trope. And so you've got points where it's like Street Fighter, and points where there's references to Tony Hawk, and it's so crammed full of stuff. So many little gags and references that I think that you could easily miss about 10 gags or so just by watching it for the first time. There's so many things just like stuffed in the corner, and it's just like on constant fire the entire time. But it's sharp about it. It isn't just like all the jokes. Most of the jokes are bad and only about 1 or 2 of them are good. Most of the jokes are all excellent. And so when you've got jokes firing at you constantly, you tend to miss up on some stuff that happens within your first viewing. It's sort of like with Shaun of the Dead and that other movie that I haven't seen yet, Hot Fuzz. I've heard Hot Fuzz is amazing. I need to check it out because now I'm definitely an Edgar Wright fanboy. And I want to read the comics as well. And the comics are supposedly quite good. I don't really care for the art style that much, but maybe I will get used to it. I'm kind of fond of the image of Michael Cera, which I never thought I would say this. Michael Cera to me is Scott Pilgrim now. So it's going to be hard going into the comic book where it's not like Scott Pilgrim-y in the Michael Cera sense. It's sort of like taking a time machine back to the past, and it's like, wait. No, that's not like Michael Cera. Michael Cera would whisper that line. I know, it's terrible. I shouldn't love Michael Cera, but in this movie, he's forgivable. He's so likable. I want to hug him. He's so adorable. He is, and that was in a completely non-homo way, by the way. I do not want to take Michael Cera? I was about to say Michael Pilgrim. That shows just how bound with that particular character that he is, perhaps. It's like, no, I don't want to take Michael Cera home. I don't want to cuddle him. Although I do, kind of, to an extent. Just kind of like give him a big hug and say, it's okay, Scott. It's okay. We feel for you, bro. We feel for you, but no, that's probably not an appropriate thing to do. So pretty much, if you're interested in hearing the continued impressions on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on my podcast, we are going to be discussing it. Yes, another shameless plug. I'm going to shameless plug all the time now. I don't care anymore. my podcast with Brett, which I will leave the link to that particular podcast down here for any of you that are interested. But for those of you who are not, well, that's tough. Jeez. I'm just going to stop with the shameless plugging now. So what would I give Scott Pilgrim? It depends. If you're not a geek, if you're not in on the references, I would say this is a 3 out of 5. I think you would think it was cute and energetic and fun, but I don't think there would be anything else to make it particularly memorable. If you are a geek, this is a 4, and for many of you, maybe bordering on a 5, because this really does hit with our particular crowd. It's our movie. I felt so proud watching it. I'm like, this is my movie. I'm claiming it because it so represents my particular kind of douchebaggy, hipster, gamer people. I used the word hipster again. I'm going to go die. Okay, peace.